You've probably heard it 1,000 times. The Toyota RAV4 is the best SUV you can buy. The most reliable, the best equipped, the most durable. It's practically bulletproof, right? Well, here at Motorreg, I'm about to tell you the truth. It's not the only option anymore, and in many cases, it's not even the best option. And I know if you're a hardcore Toyota fanatic, you're probably already typing angry comments, but honestly, I don't care. Because here at Motorreg, we don't sugarcoat anything. We tell it like it is. Today, I'm going to show you 5 SUVs that go head-to-head with the RAV4, and these aren't just competitors in reliability. When it comes to power and performance, several of these absolutely embarrass the RAV4 without breaking a sweat, and I'm warning you right now, number 1 on this list is showing what true Japanese engineering really looks like, and after you see it, you won't be able to keep saying the RAV4 is untouchable. So get comfortable, save this video, share it with your friends, because what you're about to learn is something Toyota doesn't want you to know. Welcome to another explosive and eye-opening video from Motorreg. Number 5. Let's jump right in with an SUV that's been turning heads on the streets and proving that the RAV4 isn't the only game in town anymore. I'm talking about the Kia Sportage, the Korean SUV that started almost as a joke back in the 90s. Simple, basic, nobody bet on it. But generation after generation, Kia refined the formula, and today, 3 decades later, what we have in front of us is a product that competes toe-to-toe with the almighty RAV4. And that's not just my opinion, it's already rated 8 out of 10 by Car and Driver and well-positioned in Consumer Reports. You don't earn that with luck, you earn it with consistency, with dedication, with doing the work. The 2026 Kia Sportage isn't just a cheap facelift, it's a complete transformation. Gone are those boomerang lights that divided opinions and made it look, let's be honest, a little weird to some people. Now the face is completely different. A cleaner, more refined grille that looks almost premium. The slim headlights integrate perfectly with the hood lines, creating a modern, elegant, and most importantly, timeless design. It doesn't need to scream to command respect. It just does. But let's get to what really matters. The engine. Now, it's not going to blow your mind with supercar numbers, but it's definitely not a toy either. It comes with a naturally aspirated 2.5-litre 4-cylinder block that delivers 187 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. And the best part is how it delivers that power. Linear, progressive, no sudden jolts or surprises. It accelerates from 0 to 60 in about 8.4 seconds. Is it slow? No. Is it a sports car? Also no. But for city driving and highway cruising, it behaves exactly like it should. Reliable, efficient, and it doesn't demand more from you than necessary. The 8-speed automatic transmission is another win. Smooth shifts, none of those annoying jerks that ruin the driving experience. And this is where the Sportage really starts throwing punches. In technology and safety, it doesn't skimp. Automatic emergency braking, pedestrian detection, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring. The basics that should be standard in any SUV, but many still charge extra for. Now listen to this. The warranty, 5 years or 60,000 miles of general warranty, and 10 years or 100,000 miles on the engine and transmission. Yes, you heard that right. An entire decade of peace of mind. How many brands do that today? Very few. Toyota doesn't even dream of giving you that confidence in writing. Sure, it's not perfect. It doesn't include free maintenance like some Toyota models do. But you know what? The services are affordable, the parts won't bankrupt you, and most importantly, you're not going to struggle finding a mechanic. Kia already has a solid network across America, and it's growing fast. Bottom line, the 2026 Kia Sportage is proof that the Koreans aren't following anyone anymore. They're standing up to the best-selling Japanese brands. And even though it hurts Toyota fanatics to hear it, here's an SUV that, without being the most expensive or the most powerful, dares to tell the RAV4 you're not the absolute queen anymore. Number 4. Moving right along, now I bring you an SUV that got a serious refresh this year. And many are already calling it the true off-road machine, built with Japanese precision. Let me introduce you to the Subaru Forester. A vehicle that didn't arrive to be just another face in the crowd, but to stand its ground with character and steal market share from the RAV4. And boy, Has it succeeded? More and more drivers are leaving behind the Toyota hype train and leaning toward options that offer equal or better quality with a much more realistic approach. The Forester's design divides opinions. Some say it's too boxy, that it doesn't try to grab attention. And that's precisely why I think it looks great. Because it's solid, serious, with lines that aren't designed to pose on a runway, but to handle real roads. And if you want something even tougher, there's the Wilderness version, which ups the ante with metal skid plates, black moldings and chunky tires that don't just look off-road capable, they are off-road capable. It gives you presence on the highway and reminds you that this isn't a decorative SUV. It's a machine that can handle whatever you throw at it. The interior follows the same philosophy. It doesn't try to dazzle you with artificial luxury, but gives you real comfort. 2 spacious rows, a high driving position that conveys control and confidence, ideal for both city and road trips. And if you're tall, you're not going to be sitting here with your knees jammed against the dashboard or your head grazing the ceiling. Subaru understood something other brands forgot. True comfort isn't about cheap chrome accents. It's about how your body feels after 8 hours of driving. And trust me, in the Forester, you arrive without excessive pain or fatigue. Now, what I like most: the mechanics. In a world where everyone brags about turbos, inflated numbers, and fuel economy promises that never come true, Subaru takes a different path. The path of real reliability. The Boxer engine is a brand signature. A 2.5-litre 4-cylinder with 180 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque. It responds well, accelerates with enthusiasm, and it's fun to drive. And if you want efficiency, there's the hybrid version that adds an electric motor and battery for a combined output of 194 horsepower. You've got options depending on your style. And here's the crown jewel. Absolutely all Forester versions come with permanent all-wheel drive. None of those cheap front-wheel drive versions just to pump up sales numbers. No fake 4x4 that only works in commercials. Subaru maintains its adventurous essence, and that means grip, stability, and real safety on any terrain. Fuel consumption isn't the lowest on the market, but it's not a gas guzzler either. It's a fair balance, a middle ground that gives you peace of mind. And if we talk pricing, the 2026 Subaru Forester starts at $33,000 and goes up to $43,000 in its most equipped version. But here's the interesting part. It doesn't matter if you buy the base model. You still get all-wheel drive, good ground clearance, and a complete safety package. They're not selling you smoke. From the entry-level model, you already have an SUV ready for adventure. The Subaru Forester is a reminder that there are still brands making vehicles designed for people who actually drive them, not just for marketing departments, and that's why more and more people are looking at it as the real alternative to the RAV4. And don't go anywhere, because now we're entering the top 3, where the SUVs that are truly ready to humiliate it are coming up. Number 3. Now we're getting to my absolute favorite SUV in the entire world, and I'll tell you, this year it arrived refreshed to surprise everyone with improvements that already have people talking. I'm talking about the Mazda CX-5, an SUV that has won international awards for being one of the safest on the market, and that, in my opinion, beats the almighty Toyota RAV4 in several areas. Better finishes, a more refined interior, a more capable engine, and now with the 2026 update, it's here to shut up all those critics. And pay attention, because even brands that used to look down on it now recognize what Mazda has achieved. Mazda has never made ugly cars. We know that. But the new CX-5 crossed the line into exceptional territory. Built in Japan, it combines classic Japanese elegance with a touch of modern aggression. The front grille looks finer with details worthy of a premium car, while the air intakes are now larger and functional, improving airflow to the engine and giving it a robust presence without needing to exaggerate. Compare it side by side with another SUV in the same segment, and the CX-5 simply steals all the attention. Let's get to the heart of it, because this is where many people are surprised. It keeps the 2-litre and 2.5-litre engines that already had a reputation for responding as they should. Yes, they consume more than others, but they compensate with driving that feels like a sports car, fun and comfortable at the same time. Now, since many were asking for a hybrid version, Mazda listened. And no, they didn't go begging Toyota for help like others do, nor did they make improvised alliances. The CX-5 hybrid was developed 100% by Mazda engineers. It's a 2.5-litre four-cylinder engine combined with mild hybrid technology that delivers 141 horsepower. I know what you're thinking, that sounds low, but that's the difference. Mazda doesn't play games inflating numbers for cheap marketing. Mazda works on how the power feels, and believe me, when you step on the accelerator, the CX-5 responds with strength, smoothness, and effortlessly. That's the true magic of the brand. The interior also takes a huge leap forward. They changed the center screen, the steering wheel, the dashboard, and even introduced new finishes and colors. Everything feels more polished, more premium. The stitching is impeccable, and the ergonomics are so well thought out that it gives you the feeling of being in a luxury SUV. And here's where it gets really impressive. The interior quality of this CX-5 competes head-on with German SUVs like the Audi Q5 or BMW X3, but for much less money. And although Mazda hasn't released official pricing for all countries yet, in the United States, it's estimated to start at $30,000, while in markets like Colombia or Mexico, it will be around certain price points depending on the equipment level. A price that, considering what it offers, leaves many rivals looking bad. The 2026 Mazda CX-5 doesn't just arrive refreshed. It arrives to reclaim its place. It's the perfect example of how you can be elegant, safe, powerful, and competitive without charging like it's made of gold. And yes, even though it hurts Toyota fans, here we have an SUV that in several areas leaves the RAV4 behind. Number 2. In this position, we bring another Japanese brand that doesn't make as much noise as Toyota or Honda, but whoever owns one knows they're driving a real SUV. I'm talking about the Nissan Rogue, an option you can buy with your eyes closed because it brings equipment that's hard to match in its segment. And pay attention to this. It's been selling very well in the United States, which is the most demanding market in the world. And if it works there and earns the public's trust, that already says a lot about what we're talking about. The Rogue is a complete SUV. It doesn't make excuses or have absurd weaknesses you find in others. And the best part? For less than $30,000, you can have it in your garage. What does it offer? A turbocharged 3-cylinder, 1.5-litre gasoline engine that develops 201 horsepower. And we're not talking about some weird experiment here, but an engine with over 20 years of development behind it, with a proven track record of power and efficiency. Nissan took a risk with this system, perfected it, and today it's one of the keys to the Rogue selling like hotcakes. Is it better than the RAV4? Many say yes, and it's because in several aspects it surpasses it, and on top of that, can cost the same or even less. On the highway, it behaves like a serious SUV. Planted, feels good grip in curves, and transmits confidence at the wheel. It's not one of those that seem to wobble with any breeze. Here we're talking about real stability. The interior also surprises. Nissan bet on materials that raise the perception of quality. Soft touch plastics, synthetic leather that doesn't look cheap, and details that imitate wood and metal to give it a more sophisticated touch. But what really catches attention is the space. It's a spacious, comfortable SUV that makes you feel like you're in something from a higher category without having to pay premium prices. That, combined with its equipment, makes it a very serious option against the all-powerful RAV4. And here's what's interesting. Although it's not exactly in the same segment, many buyers prefer it over the Toyota for one simple reason: price and build quality. Because in the end, what do you prefer? Paying more for a name or getting an SUV that responds, that's well equipped, and has what it takes to last you years without complaining? The Nissan Rogue is proving that the RAV4 no longer has a clear path, and that there are rivals ready to take its throne. And now, get ready, because you're about to meet the true champion of reliability. The one that, according to experts and mechanics around the world, is much better than the RAV4 in every single area. Let's meet it. Number 1. We close this list with the winner. The one that proved it can humiliate the RAV4 because it simply doesn't fail. I'm talking about the Honda CR-V in its Trail Sport version. The SUV that earns trust every single day because it handles the daily grind and responds without complaining. There are no stories or marketing decorations here. The CR-V Trail Sport is pure reliability. The 2026 Honda CR-V continues rolling out of plants in Japan and the United States, and this Trail Sport version stands out with details that make it special. Its exclusive ash green color, a striking but subtle green, gives it presence without needing to shout. The interior stitching also makes a difference, and above all, the space. This SUV is truly spacious, designed so you can travel comfortably with the whole family without sacrificing anything. And here's the key. Honda doesn't have to spend millions on advertising to convince you to buy it. Whoever looks for a CR-V already knows what they're buying. They understand what Honda's Japanese engineering means and don't get carried away by exaggerated commercials from other brands. What convinces people most is the engine. It combines a 2-liter 4-cylinder block with 2 electric motors that together deliver 204 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque. What does this mean? It moves your family and all your luggage without breaking a sweat. And as a proper trail sport, all-wheel drive comes standard, ensuring grip on dirt roads, wet surfaces, or those routes that other SUVs prefer to avoid. The suspension is another strong point. Unlike the RAV4, the CR-V filters bumps and road imperfections much better. You're not bouncing around or cursing every time you hit a pothole. Here, the ride feels smooth, firm, and controlled. That combination of hybrid powertrain and well-calibrated suspension is what makes it the favorite of many around the world. And for those worried about fuel consumption, here's the knockout punch. With a full tank, it can exceed 430 miles of range. Yes, over 430 miles, something few rivals can offer with such consistency. The Honda CR-V Trail Sport doesn't just compete with the RAV4, it leaves it behind in several key areas: comfort, suspension, efficiency, and even reliability. That's why it's here at number 1 on this list. It's the true winner among SUVs. The option that's really worth it if you want a vehicle for many years without headaches. And if you're thinking about buying an SUV this year, check out our other videos with the most recommended by experts and mechanics. Click and discover them all, because here at Motorreg, we tell it like it is. No filters, no corporate sponsorships, just the raw truth about what's really worth your hard-earned money. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.